turn on, tune in, drop out.
You save money with Lenore Concentrate, the softness you love, for less.
And here comes Hurst. He's got some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is.
Why, it seems like only yesterday.
And Bobby Moore comes up to receive the Jules Rimet trophy.
And to think, I was there in the flesh.
The Jules Rimet trophy. The Jules Rimet trophy.
Once you've got it on Scotch, you've got it for life.
You're the Fire by Yardley. Wear it, and you wear the scent of adventure. You're the Fire, the scent of adventure.
Don't talk back.
Yakety yak, yakety yak.
Chat to new friends. Call now. 0898 22 6622.
This is night time. Now with the time at 5 o'clock, over to Christabel King for the ITN Morning News.
One of Colombia's cocaine barons is killed after a 72-hour police siege. Good morning. It's 5 o'clock on Saturday, the 16th of December. Gonzalo Rodriguez Gacha didn't die alone. His son and 15 other men were gunned down with him by Colombian police. The Colombian and American authorities are saying it shows that the big drugs traffickers can be beaten. One other headline. The American State Department has warned that Middle Eastern terrorists could be planning attacks, maybe on aircraft this Christmas. Also in this program, President Gorbachev pays his tribute to the human rights campaigner Andrei Sakharov. Report in our World News. And from CNN, heavy weather in the United States. They're getting record low temperatures. But first, the killing of the Colombian drugs trader Rodriguez Gacha. He, his son and his bodyguards were shot by a special Colombian police squad at the end of a long siege in the coastal town of Covenas. He was said to have made $1 billion from cocaine. This report by Martin Collier at ITN.
Gacha, known as the Mexican, was among the so-called extraditables, one of the Medellin drug barons wanted for trial in the United States. He was the racket's number 3 after Pablo Escobar and the Ochoa family. Gacha's son, Freddy, also died when the police moved in. U.S. officials, while denying involvement, said they were delighted.
The notion that these leaders are invincible, these cartel leaders are invincible, is put to rest, I think, with this incident. We have long believed in President Barco in his persistence, and we have had the confidence that over time his persistence would lead to the arrest and capture, imprisonment, or, as the situation unfolded here, ultimate demise of one of these cartel leaders.
Gacha was believed to be behind last week's bomb attack in Bogotá on the headquarters of the Department of Administrative Security. Gacha and the other ringleaders had declared all-out war on the Colombian government after President Barco started to clamp down on the traffickers in August. In this attack, 63 people were killed, more than 650 others were injured. Gacha, a former pig farmer, lived in luxury on this ranch. Several of his homes had been seized and documents taken. He was facing 6 drugs charges in Florida and New York. $5.5 million were found in one of Gacha's properties. He said he'd rather die than go to jail in the United States.
The United States has warned that terrorists could be planning more attacks this Christmas against a variety of targets. The State Department said Middle East terrorists had been active in Western Europe and weapons had been discovered. British Airways say normal precautions have been taken. The warning comes just ahead of the anniversary of the Lockerbie air disaster, Pan Am Flight 103 brought down by a bomb. The wreckage of the 747 has been painstakingly pieced together in a hangar as part of the continuing investigation to trace the bombers. The government is said to be determined to press ahead with plans to give Hong Kong residents the right to live in this country, despite a threatened rebellion by conservative backbenchers. Up to 200,000 Hong Kong Chinese could be allowed here after 1997. Ministers will meet early next week to decide whether a change in the law will be needed.
Mrs. Thatcher is prepared to talk about almost anything except Hong Kong.
I'm not going to talk about Hong Kong at the moment. We have certain obligations to Hong Kong. And here I come out on a regional tour, which is very exciting. So let's talk about that.
But it seems, even though she was shocked by the way her own backbenchers have savaged government plans to allow Hong Kong residents to come to this country, that she and her Foreign Secretary are both determined a scheme will be produced to give key residents some guarantees of finding a home here. The Foreign Office believes anything less will produce an exodus from Hong Kong and chaos in the colony. So the whips will this weekend be told to find out just how many MPs back the anti-immigration line of some backbenchers.
It'll be a lot more than just right-wing Tory MPs. Many of my colleagues on the centre and even the left of the party do not want to see the law liberalised, and the government would only get such measures through if the opposition vote with it.
The government can't, in fact, rely on support from Labour, which says it will oppose any plan to give preference in the immigration queue to well-off Hong Kong residents. Only the Democrats give total backing to Hong Kong calls for right of entry.
My message to her is live up to your reputation. You said you're a tough person, be tough. You have a responsibility, which is to 5 million people living under the threat of tyranny in Hong Kong. You must put those first.
Despite the difficulties, Whitehall sources are convinced that Mrs. Thatcher will back one of